once we get to the top. How do you make it on YouTube in 2025? 2025 is almost over, my friend. Might be a bit late to start now. How do you make it on YouTube in 2026? That'd be a more interesting question. The answer? To be honest, YouTube is more or less figured out at this point. It's like, realistically, there's only about 4 things that you need to do, and if you do them consistently, then you will, you'll be winning. I always look at YouTube, and I talk about this coming from a place of doing YouTube for a few years and kind of hitting my stride in the last year and really figuring out how this thing works. First of all, you have to unmarry yourself from the idea of making something that is... you got to put your ego to one side. You've got to not be in love with the artistry of it and just accept that making a YouTube video is not the same. It's not the same as making a video. I think a lot of people, they don't find success on YouTube and they go, well, it's because I'm bad at making videos. It's not that. You're bad at making YouTube videos. Can I show you this? Do I have time? Let me hide in the corner for a minute. So we have here a scene from Grand Budapest Hotel. If you want to know how to make YouTube videos, this is one of the best metaphors I've ever come up with personally on how to do it. So this is the Grand Budapest Hotel. This is a scene where they're trying to get contraband into the prison from outside of the prison. So what happens is the people send in food and it goes through this guy, and this guy cuts through the food and checks to make sure there's no contraband inside. So the bread gets checked, the cheese gets checked, and then this cake shows up. And this guy pauses for a moment and he chooses not to check the cake and he moves on. Okay? This is YouTube. A lot of people say, and Mr. Beast has said this, that you're meant to replace the idea of, if you say, oh, YouTube, the algorithm didn't like my video, it's not that. You meant to say that the audience didn't like my video. It's a bit of both. You're not making content exclusively for an audience. The audience is the end goal of your content, but you have to get it past the middleman that is the algorithm, okay? So firstly, you need to understand that you've got to get it past this guy. So it's not just that an audience has to like your video, but it's that this guy has to like your video as well. And it's the point I'm trying to make is that you might like, there might be an audience that likes bread, and there might be an audience that likes cheese, right? But the middleman is only not slicing the cake. So your goal is to make a video that can have the content of the piece of bread. You could be trying to make content for this audience, or you could be trying to make content for this audience, and you can make that cheese content, but it has to be in the shape of a cake because the algorithm wants the cake, right? Now, obviously, this kind of doesn't make sense because all of this food goes through. The metaphor kind of falls apart a bit, but I think you get what I'm trying to say. You want to make a thing that the algorithm likes, right? Because if you don't, the algorithm is not pushing your video to anyone, and it doesn't matter how good your video is, okay? Once you've understood this, you're making a video in part for an audience, but you have to package it for an algorithm so that the cake gets let through. Once you understand that, you then need to understand that there are four pillars to YouTube in 2026, in my opinion. I mean, these are the pillars for 2025, but they'll be the same for 2026 unless the algorithm drastically changes. And I've kind of studied this for a long time. They are, and in this order, CTR, that's click-through rate, audience, retention, that's view duration. They are binge ability, if that is a word. And they are, number 4, finally, is TV audience. These are the 4 things you have to master and understand to make a successful YouTube channel. If you can do these 4 things, you're a successful long-term YouTuber. Am I going to go through them now? The game ended. So I'll go through them now. Click-through rate. You have to make a video that people actually click on. This is a fundamental rule that you have to understand, okay? It doesn't matter how good your video is. It does not matter how good your video is if no one clicks on it. So the first thing you have to do is make a video that people are going to click on. Because if they don't click on it, then no one will ever know about your video. This is why every single YouTuber who's anybody, and all of them do this now, is you make a title and probably thumbnail first, okay? You make title and thumbnail first, then you make the video. Do not commit a single second to recording, editing, anything of a video if you have not figured out the title and thumbnail first. This is about coming up with the idea first. You come up with an idea, then you figure out if you can get a clickable title and thumbnail out of it. If you can, then you move on to the next part of the list. If you cannot come up with a title and thumbnail for your video, then you do not make the video. You have to master click-through rate. If you can't make videos that people click on, then it does not matter about anything else. So click-through rate is probably the most important part of any YouTube video. It's been pretty important for most of YouTube, but it is especially important now. You need a good click-through rate. You need an idea that is clickable. Once you figure that out, next up, audience retention. YouTube wants to push ads. Well, YouTube wants to push loads of ads. Now, the way YouTube pushes ads, this is obviously the way the platform makes money. The way they push ads is by putting them at slots within a video, usually evenly spaced slots. So the longer the video, the more ads there are in it. So your goal is to make a video that pushes as many ads as possible. So you need to make the longest video you possibly can. Now, that's not to say that you should make an insanely long video that no one watches any of. That doesn't work. You need to make a long video that people do watch some of, and this is where the view duration comes in. Notice that this is not the same as percentage viewed. When you look at your analytics, you'll have view duration as a time, and you'll have percentage viewed. That's how much the percentage of video that people watched on average. Now, you can make an 8-minute video, and people can watch 100% of that video. This is still only 8-minute view duration. So even though everyone watched 100% of the video, which is impossible, but let's pretend it's possible. Even if everyone watched 100% of the video, you only have an 8-minute view duration. Compared to if you make 1 hour long video and people watch 25%, let's say, this is still 15 minutes of view duration. And 15 minutes is bigger than 8 minutes. So in YouTube's eyes, this video that I think any human being would argue is a less successful video because it only managed to capture the attention of people for 25% of the video. This is still better than this 8-minute video because this has a 15-minute view duration. So your goal should always be to make a video that generates a longer view duration. This is why every video on this platform right now is 1 hour long or 2 hours long or bloody 4 hours long. This is why every person is making an entire documentary every upload. It's because on average, people like a lot of people will click off 2 minutes in, but for the percentage of people that watch the entire video, they bring up the average considerably. And so you end up with like a 15 to 20 minute view duration average on a 1 hour video, which YouTube deems as better because they can probably push like 3 or 4 sets of ads in this 15-minute window. So you need to find something that generates a high click-through rate and also a high audience retention, a high view duration. Very important. Once you've figured out those two things, you then move on to the next bit, which is bingeability. This is where a lot of even successful or once successful YouTubers today kind of fall down. YouTube doesn't just judge view duration based on one video. It judges view duration based on session time. Okay, this is how long one person has spent on the platform in a single go. Session time. So YouTube obviously wants you to make a video that people watch a lot of, okay? But YouTube also wants you to make a video that once people watch that video, they then click on another video and they watch that video as well. That's the dream. YouTube will then count the original video, not just the view duration of that one, but the view duration of the next one as well. And that will add to your session time. And YouTube will heavily push any video where that original video pushes a lot of people to click on another video and then watch a lot of that video as well. If you're making any video, and it doesn't have to push to your content, it can push to someone else's content as well. If you're making any, and this is one of the reasons, by the way, why React content does quite well, because a lot of people will watch the reaction first, and then a lot of people will click on the original video, and they'll watch a lot of the original video as well without the reaction. If you're making videos that push people to automatically click on other videos, that's really good. The reason I say bingeability is because if you can make a series of videos, and this is the series, make a series. If you can make a series of videos where when someone watches one of them, they then go ahead and watch all the others, you are going to make mega bucks. Maybe not mega bucks. You're going to get a lot of views doing this. YouTube loves to push videos that send people to more videos. So if you have a series where every single video is basically the same, and if someone enjoyed one of them, they will definitely enjoy all the other ones because they're all the same. You've made a series that is bingeable. This increases session time hugely and can turn a viewer that just clicked on YouTube to watch a 10-minute video into someone that watches back-to-back 30-minute videos, one after the other, consistently on your channel. And YouTube will give a huge amount of impressions to videos that do this. So you need to have a video that has a high click-through rate, good view duration, and leads to another video, is bingeable. Now the final piece of the puzzle. Audience. YouTube is split into 4 ways of viewing the platform. They are desktop, phone, TV, and tablet. Okay? Desktop, phone, TV, tablet. Now, it used to be that phone was probably number 1, and then it was desktop, and then TV, and then it was tablet. Okay? But now it is, as reported by YouTube, it is TV, I think phone, desktop, and then tablet. Now, phone is almost exclusively for YouTube Shorts these days. YouTube Shorts are primarily watched on a phone, and this is where, if you're making shorts, you should be focusing on phone users. If you're focusing on long form, you should be focusing on TV. It used to be desktop was the long form king. Everyone used to watch desktop long form content. Now it's TV. And this is what YouTube wants. YouTube wants a TV audience. Why? TV, no ad blockers. Also, watch for a really long time. TV audiences watch for longer, and they don't have ad blockers. Desktop audiences watch for shorter, and they have so many ad blockers. Many ad blockers. YouTube has been at war with ad blockers for a good few years now. They've tried many things to get rid of them, including making the platform run considerably worse if you have an ad blocker. The problem is the ad blocker companies always find a way around it so that you can keep watching YouTube on your desktop without watching ads, which is good for the viewer, but it's pretty terrible if you're a if you're a creator or if you're YouTube. Because what happens is that YouTube will say that your video has made, let's say, £10 per 1,000 views. Now, YouTube will already take basically half of that off the top. So you're actually making £5 per 1,000 views. And then you'll probably lose about half again because of the view duration, how long people watch the video. And then if your audience is exclusively on desktop, you'll lose half again because half of them have an ad blocker and so do not get any ads. YouTube doesn't like this. TV is the way to go. If you can find content that appeals to a TV audience, YouTube will push this as hard as it can. There's a reason that TV shows are now appearing on YouTube. It's because YouTube pushes TV audience content way harder than desktop. You're seeing so many traditional creators right now that are really struggling to hit views that they once would have hit while making the same quality content because their content appeals to desktop and not to TV. I guarantee you their demographic is desktop, not TV. I like to look at Big Fry. Big Fry has been complaining about lower viewership, and he still does okay. But Big Fry is making content for a past generation of YouTube. This is like YouTube from 10 years ago, where it's like individual little news stories, like well-made pieces on individual games that don't necessarily all relate to each other, capitalizing on trending topics. There are so many problems with this, and I want to go down the checklist of what we've just done here to see why this doesn't work anymore. Click-through rate, probably still good. These still have like clickable ideas, and an audience might find themselves clicking on this content. So the click-through rate is still there. View duration, probably not as good. When you're making a 6-minute video, a 10-minute video, view duration is already going to be hit here. Some of these are longer, but it's a lot of talking. I'd be interested to hear what the view duration is on those, on most of these. I doubt it's more than like 5 minutes, which in my opinion is low. Then you have bingeability, and this is where it really starts to get bad. None of these videos make you want to click on another one. If I just read a story about or watch this video on how 83 is dead, does it make me want to click on, is Ark Raiders the next big game? Probably not. Probably not. They don't feed each other. These are all individual videos that sell individual ideas and don't feed into each other. So they're not bingeable. So you're only banking on the view duration of one video, not like a series. And then, of course, these are almost certainly desktop audiences, primarily. I'd be very surprised if any of these were TV focused. I reckon these are all desktop. Which again, YouTube doesn't like. YouTube doesn't like desktop anymore. This is all for desktop. So much desktop. We're going to quickly look at my channel. I used to make content that I thought meant something and I thought said something and that was focused on desktop audiences. These all are desktop focused videos. And they do varying degrees of well, but they're very inconsistent on what does well and what doesn't. Because these videos don't feed each other. They're not bingeable. The view durations were often around 6 minutes. A squad video is probably about a 6-minute view duration. It was varied, but it's not hidden. These Sniper Elite videos, on the other hand, get consistently pushed. They get pushed so insanely hard by the algorithm. Always. 127,000, 355,000, 706,000. My camera's overheated. The point I'm trying to make is that if you make a series of videos with high view duration where each video feeds each other video, then you are destined for success on this platform. And if it's a TV audience and you can make it clickable and focus on improving click-through rate, you're going to make it. It's just a matter of time. It's obviously a grind. But if you, I mean, you didn't really ask that. I've gone on a huge tangent here, but that was a very long explanation. We were playing Sniper Elite. Anyway, but look, if you genuinely want to make it on YouTube in 2026 and you want to do it long term and you want to be consistent, those 4 pillars are what you have to keep in mind. Click-through rate, audience retention, bingeability, TV audience. If you can hit those 4 pillars on every video that you make, then you're going to have a very successful YouTube career. Let's see if I can fix my camera and then we'll go back to some Sniper Elite, shall we?